Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Empowerment Empire Show. My name is Lisa, and I am the host of your show. And today, I am really excited about our guest, Alexis. I've known Alexis for a number of years now, and Alexis is a business coach and digital marketer. Now, she has helped me a tremendous amount in my business, so I am eternally grateful. And I'm sure that she's going to add an incredible amount of value to our listeners. So before we kick off, if this is your very first time listening to the show, then I am delighted to have you here. If you are a regular listener, then welcome back. Now, as I said, my name is Lisa. I am a trained strategic intervention life and business coach. So, and the Empowerment Empire Show is all about empowering people to create positive change in their life and their business. So Alexis is definitely going to help empower you today with all her knowledge in digital marketing strategies as well. So welcome to the show, Alexis. It's lovely to have you here.
Hello, and thank you. I'm super excited to be a part of it, and thank you for such a lovely introduction.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. So, because of course our listeners don't know a lot about you, so some of the listeners may have heard of you before, but most of our listeners won't know that much about you. So, before we kick off, why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
Sure. So I am Alexis Miller, and I am the creative marketer. And as you said, I am a business coach and digital marketer. So I specialise in working with solopreneurs, small businesses, just anyone that's in the online digital space really that needs help to be able to create strategies and structure within their business. So it's really a big passion of mine. I mainly work with females, which is just, I love it. There's so much energy, and there's just females have just got so many great ideas and so creative and stuff like that in the business world. So it's just amazing.
Excellent, fantastic. So what would you say then, kicking off, Alexis, so that our listeners, because I know if any of the listeners out there are anything like me, you had mentioned there that females are so creative, and they are. And when I look at some female entrepreneurs and businesswomen, I am incredibly inspired by what they have created. However, I must admit, it's actually a struggle of mine. So what would you say has been I know your struggles will probably be different from me because you are creative, but what would you say have been your biggest struggles in your journey so far?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? Everybody's going to be so different. And for me, over the last sort of 16 years, I've always ran my own businesses. I've never really worked for anyone. That's just always been the way that I am. I just kind of go from one entrepreneurial thought and vision to the next. And I'm never really scared of any failure or anything like that. I think it's just a complete learning curve. And I've came on a bit of a journey, actually. So my struggles have gone up and down over that whole journey, just because it's been completely different businesses and challenges along the way. But at this moment in time, I think with where I am now, my biggest kind of struggle was that I wanted to develop a business that sort of delivered what I wanted and needed on a personal level, but also allowed me to help other people. And that's not always easy to come by, I don't think.
No, definitely. Absolutely. So what would you, so your struggles then, so you're saying to help obviously you in your journey, but also to help like your potential clients or new clients coming on board with you as well. So what have you noticed? Has there been a trend in other people's struggles? Your clients perhaps, or?
Well, definitely. I mean, in the sort of, the business and the digital marketing side of things, then absolutely, there's a lot of common struggles. And, mindset aside, which is obviously something that you specialise in, after that, it's the tech and it's the understanding of the fact that every single business, regardless if you've got a product or you're offering a service, you need to have that foundation of having a strategy and a system in place to be able to generate the leads, but also then convert them into sales. And what I find, especially with a lot of people who are maybe starting out in business or they're particularly small businesses, is that they don't understand that process, and what they think happens is you've got your amazing product or your service, and then all you need to do is advertise it, and that should generate sales for you. And then what happens is that doesn't really happen, so then they get disheartened, you know, and it's just that's really, really bad spiral of thinking that your product doesn't work, your service isn't needed, all of that, and then obviously that affects the mindset, so then it's just a complete backward spiral, and a lot of the time I see people give up, and it's nothing to do with the fact that their product or their service isn't good or needed. It's just the fact that they don't know, and it's not something you would know unless you were obviously trained in it like I am. But you know, there is that marketing strategy that needs to be in place, as I said, to take people through, your customers or your clients, your prospective clients, take them through a process, you know, and have that relationship that you nurture them to then eventually convert them into customers and clients. So I would say, apart from the tech side of things, which obviously is a big struggle for some people as well, you know, they don't really know how to sort of link all these systems and strategies up, but that is the biggest struggle I'm finding at the minute for sure.
Yeah, and can you explain a little bit more about when you're saying that obviously the tech side of things, are you talking about, you know, like the email, because this was all new for me as well, and as I've said to the listeners, that you have taught me a lot over the last year or so with regards to this side of the business. So, and to be honest, I'd heard of some of it before, like email subscriptions, but didn't quite know how to implement it. I'd heard about branding, didn't quite know how to implement it. I'd heard about this generating leads, again, in funnel systems, etc. Didn't know what they were or even where to start, how to implement it, who to speak to. So, I mean, is there anything that you could say to other people that was perhaps feeling the same way that I was feeling a number of months ago with regards to them building their business, or perhaps point them in some sort of direction, or to add more structure, or anything at all?
Yep, no, definitely. I mean, the top priority, the first thing that everyone has to do is get super clear on who their actual customer, their client is. And again, I find that's something that people skip by. You know, they think that their customer, their client is everyone. And that's just not the case. You know, you really need to kind of spend time and really profiling who that person is, so that you then move on to your branding and you move on to your copy, and everything that you're putting out there as your business is then talking to that person. So, you know, moving then forward from that, branding obviously covers lots of different things. It's not just stopping at a logo, which I think a lot of people think you just get a logo and that's it. Branding actually goes through so many different avenues. It's the font that you use, it's the colours that you're using, it's the images, you know, even just your language and your copy, you know, all of that is all branding, and branding should create a bit of a sort of feeling in someone. So as soon as they see something from your business, they'll know instantly that it's you, you know. So that kind of is a couple of struggles there right away, that the fact that they skip the dream client thing and then straight on they don't develop their brand enough. But moving past that, you touched on like email marketing and stuff like that. It is so important. You know, nowadays email marketing converts about 70% higher than what social media does, although that seems to be the area of focus for most people, is the social media, which of course is really important, but it's not the be all and end all. If all you're doing is creating awareness on social media for your business, but you're not actually capturing those leads and converting them, which means that you're bringing them into an email list, then you know, you're not going to be able to move through that process and then warm the leads and convert them. So the tech side of things, people don't know. You know, like you were saying before, you've heard of email marketing, you had a general idea of how you go about that, but people just don't know. They don't know about these systems. They don't know how to automate that whole system so that it's not something that they need to physically do on a daily basis. You know, there's ways to automate that whole marketing strategy so that it is working while you're not, which is obviously ultimately what we all want. we need more hands, we need more time in our business, don't we? So these systems sort of do that for you. So it's almost like having a digital employee that's working hard for you when you're not, which is amazing. So all of those things, and also the lead generation side of things, people don't understand, one, what a lead generation system looks like, what it actually is, and then how to create it. And these things are really all simple, but a digital marketing strategy is a bit like a chain. If you have a link missing in that chain, then it won't work. So it's simple, it's easy, but there's work involved in it, and there's a little bit of learning involved in it. But once it's up and running, that chain should work automatically just for you, which is the best part, really.
Wow. So is this, so what you're doing now as a business coach, as a digital marketer, is this something that you teach to entrepreneurs like us? You teach it to female entrepreneurs?
I do, yes. It's a process of just coaching and mentoring them, which is the way that I prefer to teach, because it's something then once they have grasped and they understand that full process, they know how to do the tech, they know how to link it up, they know why they're doing it, then it's something that they can then duplicate into every area of their business. Because businesses, they might have multiple products, so it's something that you would have to do over and over again in different areas of your business. So that for me is the ultimate, being able to coach someone to show them the system that will actually, I come across so many business owners at the minute that are so frustrated because they just feel like they're doing everything that they should be on social media. They're consistent, they've maybe got their branding on point, everything looks amazing, they've maybe generated thousands of followers on Instagram, etc., but nothing's really happening. Or what's happening is the algorithm changes on Instagram, they've worked really hard to get that following, and then all of a sudden their engagement rate drops massively, which means that their traffic to their website is going to drop massively. So you cannot rely on social media to build your business, because at the end of the day we don't own it and it could disappear tomorrow. So that's why email marketing is so important, because that's something that physically, when you have built your list, okay, some people can unsubscribe, which is absolutely fine, but once you have that list, then it's something that you actually own, it's tangible, and it's something that you have control over. You have so much more control over than social media, obviously. So it's all of those different processes, but I do absolutely love being able to coach people one-to-one, and that end result of when their business starts to generate customers, more income, all of those things, that's the reason I do it. I just love that end product.
Excellent. Have you had so many good results from any of your perhaps clients recently, or that's came through the programs? Or any feedback on how it's been going for them?
I've actually just had a really exciting launch with one of my clients. It's just happened in the last sort of couple of weeks, which has been great. She's developed a brand new program that we've put online in terms of an online coaching sort of program for her. She's in the health and wellness kind of sector, and she's launched this. So we worked together over the course of about 2 months quite intensively. We've just really launched it, and within one day it was a multiple of 4-figure launch. Wow. So it was pretty exciting to be able to, obviously a one day, earning that in one day, there's the work in the background, we worked hard to get to that point, but for her, she came to me with an idea that she couldn't really move forward just purely because she didn't know how to go about it. And we worked on that whole system and strategy, got it all live and launched it, and she's just over the moon. So it's been great.
That sounds incredible. Fantastic. So for people that's listening into the show today, then what would you say would be the first step on this ladder? So the first thing that they should perhaps consider, obviously I know that you've said about their who their customer is or who their client is, get clear on who that person is. But let's say that they've got that in the bag, they know who it is. What would be the next step for them? Would it be something like, because I know that you emphasised the email marketing campaigns? Would it be about building that list and really getting as many connections or people onto that list as possible? Would that be one of the first things?
Oh, definitely, definitely. If they're at the point where obviously their product, their service is out there, and as you say, they've nailed those first two sort of crucial steps, then definitely lead generation is the first step. So that would look like, you know, anything that you can basically put out there that's of value, that's going to provide value to that dream client customer that you can give for free ultimately. But what they're going to do is exchange their email address for that. So you'll see it in a lot of websites that you know you'll go on day to day. You know, if that's something will pop up and it'll say 10% off your first order, you'll pop in your email address and they'll send you a code. It might be, you know, newsletters, anything like that. It could be, you know, download my free ebook, or you know, checklist or something like that. Anything like that it comes under the bracket of lead generation, and that's definitely somewhere that they need to look. So MailChimp is probably one of the easiest email automation services, I would say, and on there they can create lists. They can also create free landing pages, which is something that they can then use to put out there, say like an ebook or anything like that. But it's a pretty easy system. It's all kind of drag and drop interface. It's quite obvious what they need to do. So even if they aren't very techy about things, then it's quite easy to follow. So 100% that needs to be the first port of call.
That's like me. I'm not very techy. I need something that is drag and drop. So MailChimp works really well for me, actually.
Yeah, no, it's good. I use MailChimp as well because I love it. You can be very basic with it, but you can also be quite creative with it. So it's good for everyone, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. So for all the listeners then that's listening in, because I have no doubt in my mind that there's going to be a lot of people reaching out to you, Alexis. So where can they find the creative marketer?
Okay, so I have my own website, which is www.alexismillerlimited, which is ltd.com. And then also I run an amazing mastermind group on Facebook, a community actually, because I would say it's definitely a community of really amazing, like-minded business owners that we all inspire and motivate each other and educate each other on a daily basis, which is amazing. So that's on Facebook, and that is the Creative Marketer Mastermind.
Okay, so what I'll do anyways, I can add the link to that group, Alexis, into the show notes, so that people can to click on the link as well, and I'll take them, excuse me, straight into your group. Fantastic, excellent. Is there anything else that you would like to share, or will they find some freebies that perhaps on your website?
Yeah, definitely. If they nip onto my website, I have a free resource section. You'll see it at the top, and that gets added to on a weekly basis almost. So there's a variety of different things there. I've also got a couple of really good ebooks, which are all free, which will be able to take them through in a little bit more detail, the kind of things that I've been talking about today, and the steps that they should be taking. So yeah.
Amazing, fantastic, excellent. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure, and I hope that everyone has kind of taken something away from today. I'm sure they will have. And thank you so much for your time, Alexis. It's very much appreciated, and I look forward to you being inundated with requests from other entrepreneurs looking for your words of wisdom and your support.
Oh, definitely. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks, Alexis. Take care.
Bye.
And thank you so much, everyone, for listening in today. I hope you've enjoyed the show with Alexis. So don't forget to pop over and check out the Creative Marketer Mastermind on Facebook, and also Alexis's website, alexismillerltd.com. So thanks again, everyone, and have an amazing week. Speak soon.